We're going to begin right at the Supreme Court, where several important rulings were just handed down by the High Court. This is a huge day. Rulings on the powers of the president to fire heads of independent agencies, as well as the separation of federal and state election rules. President Trump responding to the rulings on social media, saying that the court's ruling to uphold his power to remove certain people from government offices is a big win, and that the court's ruling on mail-in ballots was a huge loss, which the court says can come in late and still be counted if the state's voting laws allows for that. Now, the president is now calling on Congress to pass his election bill dubbed the Save America Act. Hannah Brandt has more on the president's response from outside the White House. But first, we go to Zach Schoenfeld from our partners at The Hill, who is live outside the court with more on the rulings today. All right, Zach, a big day there. The decision upholding the state's mail-in ballot deadlines will, of course, have a big impact on the midterms. What more can you tell us?
That's right, Laura. A 5-4 decision here, authored by Justice Amy Coney Barrett, one of Donald Trump's appointees to the Supreme Court. She is joining Chief Justice John Roberts and the 3 liberal justices today to vote that these 14 states that allow a grace period and accept mail ballots after Election Day, they can continue to keep doing that. The key issue in this case had been a federal law that says the Tuesday after the first Monday in November is the day of the election. So the question became, does that block states from continuing to accept mail ballots for 1 day, 5 days, or in some states even more after polls close? I'm just going to read you here the majority opinion from Justice Barrett saying, quote, the Election Day statutes say nothing about ballot receipt. Meanwhile, we do have 4 conservative justices in dissent, this being Justices Samuel Alito, Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, and Brett Kavanaugh. The 4 of them siding with the Republican National Committee and President Trump, agreeing that federal law does prohibit those practices, but they didn't get a majority, so these states can keep counting those late arriving ballots, Laura.
And Zach, there were also 2 decisions focusing on the president's ability to shape independent government agencies as he sees in the future, or she may see fit. So, you know, this is a big change from how government has operated for nearly 100 years. What more can you tell us on that front?
That's right. I'll start with the first case, the Slaughter case. This specifically involved President Trump's firing at the Federal Trade Commission, but this is going to be a decision that impacts all independent agencies across the executive branch. The Supreme Court today overruling 91 years of precedent that has allowed Congress to insulate certain executive branch officials with firing protections. This is a 6-3 decision along ideological lines. The conservative majority agreeing with President Trump that under the separation of powers, he has inherent constitutional authority to fire FTC members and more than a dozen independent agencies across the executive branch. But there's one agency that has been in a different bucket, and that is the Federal Reserve. And we also got a decision on that as well, because even as the president says he can fire leaders at other agencies for almost any reason, he hasn't tried to make that argument at the Fed. The Supreme Court has signaled those firing protections still might be okay. But we're not going to get that answer today. The Supreme Court's ruling at the Fed is all about process. In a 5-4 decision, the Supreme Court ruling that Lisa Cook, that Federal Reserve governor who the president tried to fire, she didn't get enough process, so she gets to remain in her job, at least as of now. But this is not a final decision on those Federal Reserve firing protections. This case will now go back to a lower court, Laura.
Okay, Zach, and it's not just today. We've got a big week ahead. Tomorrow, we're set to get decisions in the remaining big cases, birthright citizenship and the transgender athletes' participation in sports. So what can we expect heading into the final day of this court term?
That's right. This is the one time a year when I get to say what opinions are coming down tomorrow, because Chief Justice John Roberts told us in the courtroom this morning that all remaining opinions from this term will come down tomorrow. The justices are set to meet that self-imposed deadline of getting their work done by the end of June. As you mentioned, birthright citizenship, key ruling we're going to be watching for tomorrow, whether that day 1 immigration policy by President Trump violates the 14th Amendment. And then also that big case on transgender athletes, whether more than 24 states across the country that have passed these laws that ban transgender girls from competing on women's sports teams, whether all of those laws can stand, we will find out at 10 a.m. tomorrow. There will also be a campaign finance decision as well. So almost done for the term here, Laura, but still one big day left, and it's coming tomorrow.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.